All right, guys, thanks for jumping on and joining us. We're excited to have you guys. We are going to wait just a couple more minutes here, let a few more folks jump on. We know that we've got people all over the world. I think we've sold nodes in about 42 different countries. And so some people are fast asleep and won't be able to join us. But either way, we're going to try to keep this very brief. We're going to go through a few things today, kind of our what we've accomplished, what we're working on, and some questions that have been asked. And hopefully, this will be worth your time. Obviously, most of you guys are already in the Element Node community. You've been with us for a long time, some of you, and we're grateful that you're here. So we'll keep this nice and short, nice and clean. So we'll start up and give us about 2 minutes, and we'll get going here. Thanks for jumping on early. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. Many other people will join while we get going here, but I want to respect your time and thank you for jumping on this. So from wherever you are, we want to welcome you from at least, I see our teams all over the world. I think right now we've got Chris and his team out in Asia. We've got some folks East Coast, West Coast. There's just a few of us here actually in Utah tonight. And so I'm appreciative of Paul putting up this background here of all the snow because it's pretty cold out here, nice and we're just heading into the cold part. Which I'm an Arizona guy. I hate the cold, but been here 23 years, and as long as I want to wear this wedding ring, I'm going to stay here another, until I die. My wife's from here, so now I'm from here, type of thing. But love Utah. There's a lot of cool things out here, a lot of industry, a lot of tech happening out here, tons of companies, a lot of startups, a lot of big tech companies out here. So it's pretty cool. And we're right in the heart of it all. There's a little area here called Silicon Slopes where all the tech companies congregate, and we are smack dab in the middle of it. So it's really cool to be here to feed off all of the energy of everybody around here. But we like doing these events because we get to feed off of all of your energy as well. No matter where you are, we'll probably end up having 20, 25 countries represented here tonight. So thank you. I'm grateful for all of you guys. Many of you are the early adopters. A lot of you guys have been with us before we had a blockchain, before we had products, before we had really anything. And grateful for all of you guys. What I wanted to start with tonight, since a lot of you guys who are node owners tend to be in the crypto world, you like that world, your early adopters, your risk takers. I just wanted to start off really briefly just with kind of a quick 2-minute state of the union, where things are, what's going on in the crypto world. It's kind of this volatile, weird thing where it's hard to follow at times, and it moves quickly, not only with regulation, but with new innovations and new companies. And what a year it's been. It has been crazy. We've seen the FTX stuff and the Ripple case and all of these things happening, these new innovations, but it comes with a lot of volatility because it is, in the grand scheme of things, a relatively new thing. I don't think I heard of Bitcoin until 7-8 years ago. Well, it was a little bit longer than that. I sat next to a guy on a plane, and he starts telling me about Bitcoin and said, do everything you can to invest in Bitcoin. Trust me, study the blockchain. And this is on one of my trips back from Africa when I was out there mining. And man, I didn't listen to that guy, but got in a little bit late. But really right now, even all of us who are in the crypto world, we're still the early adopters. But things are about to get very interesting in the crypto world. There's a couple things you need to pay attention to. Number one is the Bitcoin halving. As you guys know, Bitcoin has a halving every 4 years. They're about to have another halving which means less Bitcoin will be produced from the mining efforts, which, affects the supply and demand and the price of Bitcoin. Shortly after the previous halvings, the price of Bitcoin spiked. Another big thing that's happening. Oh, and by the way, that next halving is coming up in the spring. I believe it's April of next year is the next Bitcoin halving. Another big thing that's moving and driving people into Bitcoin and also into all cryptocurrencies is this ETF, which is the SEC is allegedly getting close to approving the first spot Bitcoin ETF, which means Bitcoin will be a lot more accepted. It'll be a lot easier to invest in Bitcoin. That now you don't have to go out and just buy, Bitcoin. You can invest in those that do, and it's really opening up the markets. Everybody's greatly anticipating this, and so those two things, the SEC possibly approving the first spot Bitcoin ETF and the halving, has got everybody kind of in a, in this anticipation mode, wondering what's going to happen. And there are a lot of people thinking this is going to do incredible things for the crypto world in general. Who knows? I try to watch as much as I can and follow the smartest people out there in the space, but there's a lot of energy right now. A lot of articles saying that the crypto winter is over, that it's time, that, these next few months are going to, cryptos and Bitcoin, everything is going to go on this run. Who knows? I'm a bit of an optimist in this. I tend to think they could be right. So I look at what we're trying to do and think this is great. We're getting into a space that's gaining more and more adoption, and people understanding now what crypto is and what the blockchain is. And so we're excited for you guys to be along with us. And so that's, my outlook is very positive. I think a lot of good things are going to happen in 2024. A lot of bad things are going to happen in 2024. And some of those bad things that happen might help the crypto world. There's just a lot of instability in markets and countries, from wars to politics to all these factors that are happening that, could see a lot of movements. And so we're happy to be here tonight with you guys. We've got a lot of our team on tonight. Even I believe I even saw an appearance from Chris, who's past his bedtime. I think it's 2 or 3 a.m. out there in Asia, where he's doing some pretty incredible things. You guys have heard from Chris a lot. We're giving him the night off, but you'll hear from other members of the team tonight. So like we always do, we're going to start off with a disclaimer. We obviously are doing our best to stay compliant and to make sure that everybody's getting into, these nodes with eyes wide open, and we don't ever go out there and say, hey, this coin's going to be worth X. We don't do that. You should never have heard any of us say that. And obviously all of you guys know that investing in anything is risky, but the blockchain is different. You guys run this. And I always say this, I tell everybody, listen, there is a difference between Element United, the company, which is who we are, building products, and the Element blockchain, which is you. You guys have voting rights. You've got a DGF, which is this distributed governance framework where you can do things and vote and make things happen. You guys can market make and do liquidity pools and do all this. That is all done by the community, which is you. We build the products that run on the blockchain. And so there's a massive difference between the two. So what we're going to do tonight, you're going to hear from some of us. We're going to keep this as short as we can. We'll try to keep this at 30 minutes from now. And but first, we want to talk about some of the things that we've accomplished in the past year. And so we'll do a quick recap. Okay, the year started. Now it makes it weird to say, oh, the year started with a charter vote. There's like 2 years worth of crap and heartache and late nights that came to be able to get to the point to where you guys voted on the charter, and 99% of the people voted yes. I'm still trying to find out who didn't vote yes, but I'll never know. But we started off with the charter vote, and it was almost unanimous on yes. One smart aleck here in this building that as a known voter voted no just to be a contrarian. Maybe he's the one guy. But so we started off with a charter vote. It was incredible. There'll be some other charter votes for you guys. You guys can actually propose different votes, but that we will be making some tweaks to the charter coming up here. But we were able to get the charter vote. Next, we launched our test net. Then our mainnet launched, which means we have a live blockchain. We go ahead and do the next slide. Then in March 17th, which was a big day that many of you anticipated for a long time, we went live. Those nodes started issuing rewards, and they've been issuing rewards every single day since March 17th, and they're going to issue rewards until all 50 billion tokens are out. And this March 17th will be our halving. We have an annual halving. And so your distribution will cut down just like that's happening with Bitcoin in April. So shortly after our halving, Bitcoin will be having their halving as well. So that was a great event. We had a lot of people coming out to it. We had probably a couple hundred people here in office and a ton of people joining all over the world. It was fantastic. That's Amy and Chris up there on stage. Then we did, you can see David and Chris in the middle photo, went out to Tanzania, went out to Kenya. That's Jay right there, second from the left on top, our mining partner out in Tanzania. They were able to go out there and swag up, the mining crew. You can see them all wearing their element hats, but they made some really good connections. You guys have heard this on previous updates with government officials in Tanzania and in Kenya, and they're all excited. They're all excited for what can be done with carbon credits and with mines and with us wanting to come in and help. They hear our vision, mission, and purpose, and they're just pumped about it. In fact, they're trying to get us to go out there for some reason on Christmas Day. We're going to send Chris. We're gonna see if he wants to go back out there Christmas Day. But government, this is the president, President Ruto, extended an invite to us, not senators, and this is the actual president wants to meet up with Chris Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. I'm not going because I like being married, and I like having my 5 children be happy with me to not abandon them on Christmas. But again, the point is a lot of big things continuing to happen. But our initial visit that David and Chris were able to go on was fantastic. Then we had our bridge. We had our bridge ceremony on May 23rd. You guys probably saw that. Chris did a great job. He was back here in Utah to do that event. It was fantastic. Okay, go ahead and go next slide here, Paul. Then we got busy. Once we were live and once you could bridge, we got busy starting to just tell our message. We kind of have our coming out party. We want people to know. And so we spoke at Cryptopia and many other events. We just put this one up there because it was, I think it was the one where I looked the best. Maybe I vetoed the other ones because I don't know, but we got that picture up there with other members of our community, and we've been going out there and speaking at a ton of events. I don't know, I probably spoke at 30 or 40 events last year, from local mastermind groups to these big events. We also went to Consensus that was out in Austin, which is the biggest crypto event basically, in the United States. We're registered again to go out this April. And last year we also built a pretty nice game. It took a long time, it cost a lot of money. We built it, but it wasn't right. And so we kind of put it on the back burner and said, we'll get back to the game because it's a big part of what we're doing. And it really ties in so well to how we get people to stop mining, how we engage the broader community to get them all involved, to play a free play to earn game that's actually doing something and having real impact. And so we paused it because it didn't have the type of impact that we wanted it to. We wanted to tie it more to, we have a new mining partner. We're going to tie it to a real asset and design it so that it has more real world impact rather than just having something fun that's tied to an in-ground asset. We wanted to have more impact. So we paused it, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit, but we spent a lot of time on it and we are going to revisit that. And one of the reasons why we paused it is because of the next picture. We are getting into the carbon credit space. You guys have heard this. If you've been on our calls before, many, many times you have heard the explosion that's happening in the carbon credit world right now and the need to tokenize those carbon credits. The carbon credit world is phenomenal, projected to be $1 trillion business, but there's problems in it. And we're perfectly positioned to help solve some of the problems that are in the carbon credit world. So we're building out some amazing things, building out our marketplace, working with different partners all over the world, in Indonesia, here in the United States, the Philippines, that want to bring their carbon credit projects to us. And we're going to tokenize it and make it so that there's an incentive to get involved with these carbon credits and do some fun things with it. Go to the next one, Paul. And so again, we started doing more presentations. There's a lot of the team there on the left. In the middle, David and I spent a lot of time in Switzerland, talking to the DGF and working with our folks out there in Switzerland on different strategies and different things that we can do for the longevity of this program. David looks better in his shirt than I do in mine, which I didn't want this picture, but I've got to give it to David. He's in better shape, so he should have his glory here. But it was fantastic out there in Switzerland. We've got a great team. The DGF is out there, and they are an amazing country that accepts how crypto works, and so we've been in talks, and we've got teams out there doing some really amazing things out in Switzerland. Another thing, we had our Wallet 2.0 update. We've got some other tech updates that some of the other team will cover for us just in a few minutes here. Go ahead, Paul. Then Chris got to work. He's been working hard, but we sent him all over the world after fresh off the heels of Tanzania and Kenya. We sent Chris and the team, Stephen and some of the other guys out there and made some unbelievable. The lady in the middle here on the left, she's like the Hillary Clinton of the Philippines. She's a senator, incredible. She thinks Chris is a handsome devil, loves the guy, and we're doing some things in carbon credits and also some node things with them. Again, back to the middle, Chris's connections in Kenya, Tanzania is able to do some fun stuff. As part of our coming out party and letting people know who we are, we did this really cool treasure hunt where there's this nationwide treasure hunt by a group out here in Utah. They give clues, and we gave one of the clues, and we actually sponsored it. So the treasure that was found, we sponsored that just to get our name out there. We created a little video with a clue that got about 13,000 views, which was pretty fun. And we're going to be doing more of these things as we get creative and let people know about who we are. You're going to see us in a lot of weird areas just to get our name out there. You'll see some cool giveaways and promos that we're doing, and we'll do some more treasure hunts. We thought of doing a treasure hunt of our own. And to wrap up the year, is that it for, no, here we go. Yeah. So then then the fun stuff started happening where the community started getting the coin listed. And this is where we sit back and say, congratulations to you guys. These next things are community driven. These aren't things that we did, but we're listed now on CoinStore and CoinMarketCap. And apparently the community is getting us ready for CoinGecko and other exchanges. And now then the picture here on the right, this was just from last week out in Dubai. We are building momentum, and a lot of people are looking our way. I will be in Panama in about 3 weeks, and big influential groups are all coming together and hearing our message and then using their influence. These key influencers are sharing our message, and now that we're built, we're ready, the coins are out there, you guys have listed these tokens, and now we're ready to go start telling people about what we're doing. So it's been I'll use the word fun. It's been a fun year. Okay. There's been a lot of craziness, a lot of ups and downs, not just with Element, I'm talking the market in general, but man, we have accomplished pretty much everything we set out to accomplish, but that's nothing. We're just getting started. And so we're excited about the new year and the things that we've got coming up. So we want to talk about some of the things that we have, and I'll try to speed it up just a little bit. Plans for 2024. So here we go. We are launching a new company called Offset. Offset is going to handle the carbon credits. It's the carbon credit business is such a massive business, and there's so many partners that we've already talked to that want to work with us, and the upside and the potential is so huge that we are going to have a company called Offset. And Offset will be powered by Element United, but it'll be the arm that handles all of our carbon credit projects, because there's just so much room and there's so much potential. We're also kind of creating a new space within the carbon credit world. Typically, carbon credits are bought by big companies. If you go to any website right now, any Fortune 500 company, one of the things you'll see on a lot of their websites, probably on most of their websites, is their climate pledge. So typically, this is kind of a B2B business where people that produce carbon credits will sell it to another big company. But we have discovered, mostly by work from our crackpot environmental expert, Amy, who you're about to hear from, that there's this market for individuals that want to buy carbon credits, that want to offset their own carbon footprint. The average American is responsible for 16 tons of carbon. And so now 65% of all the people, and I'm sure she'll talk about this, want to do something about it, but they don't know how. So we're going to create the how. How does an individual offset your own personal carbon footprint. And we're going to do that by a subscription model. And these carbon credits have to be purchased by hopefully tens of thousands of people using the element token. And so now people can get involved individually by paying a minimal monthly fee to offset their own carbon footprint. We'll have some cool swag that lets everybody know, hey, I'm offsetting my carbon. So we're going to be focusing on that. You guys will hear, nobody knows about this the first time. We created the logo for this meeting. So you guys are the only ones that know about offset and what's going to happen. We're going to have an official launch around March. It's going to be fantastic, but we're giving you guys, those who have been with us, a sneak peek into offset, which allows us to reach the masses, not just big companies, but individuals. We also are, again, in conjunction with offset, we're going big on these carbon credits. Chris has been working on some incredible things out in Asia. We've got some incredible partnerships that we're working on here for carbon credits, and we are going to take full advantage of this carbon credit market and tokenizing it, bringing something new and valuable and something that helps the carbon credit market that also creates token utility. All these projects and all these carbon credits are going to be purchased with the element token, which for you guys in the community who are token owners should look at that and think that's a pretty cool thing. So we're going to get back to this game too. Q3, we're getting back. Well, now when I talk about these things, some of them might be reversed. The game might actually be resurrected in Q1. And you can see there in Q4 with the ethical mining certification. We just had to spread it out here, but some of these things will probably get bumped up as the team grows and as we increase our bandwidth, because the ethical mining certification is my baby. I love it. It's has direct impact on the mining world, and we'll address that here in just a couple of minutes. But this game, I love. It's how we bring in the masses, a free play to earn game that you can earn the element token by playing, and it actually is doing good. It's helping to keep assets in the ground. It's having a direct impact on these villages. And so we've got some amazing things coming up this year, in addition to the work you guys are doing to get us listed on multiple exchanges and to really grow this thing. But this year, it's product, and these products are coming fast. We will be ready with this offset with the subscription model in a matter of weeks, not months or years. And so we are moving full speed ahead for products that create token utility. And token utility is what all of you guys should be mostly concerned with. Okay, so I am going to, is there another slide after this one, Paul? Okay, yep, go back. So I'm going to turn the time over to the team. They're going to take a couple minutes each just to give quick updates on a few things. I know a lot of you guys have had questions. So I'm going to start off with Paul. Paul's going to take over, then he'll hand it off to Amy, and then you'll hear from Victor, and then Allie. Stay tuned. They got some great information here, and they'll be brief. So go ahead, take it away.
Okay, let's see. I want to make sure that our sound's all good. Okay. Hey, everyone. My name is Paul. I've been the designer for Element for a while now. Let's start off with some giveaways. We're going to give away one smart node live today. At the end of this webinar, we're going to give away 3 carbon credits, and Victor's going to talk a little bit more about the carbon credits and how those kind of will work a little bit and how you'll receive them. We're going to give away 5 swag items, or if you'd rather 500 ELMT, you can choose that instead. The swag items, I mean, right behind me, I've got baskets of some of our swag, and you can choose any of the shirts, any of the hats if you win. So we're also going to be giving away 10 light nodes. So let's see. So you can scan this QR code, or there's a link that should be posted in the chat by, I believe, Sarah. But you can enter the giveaway, the Gleam giveaway, and just all you got to do is enter your name, your email, and your birth date, because you got to be at least 18. But go ahead and start doing that, and at the end of this webinar, we'll see who those winners are. So like Scott said, Offset is going to be just a division of Element United. We've got this huge carbon marketplace that we're going to be building out through the Q1 and Q2. And it's going to be launching in Q1, but there's going to be functionality and things that we're going to be working on throughout Q2 and getting it really nice for individuals and for businesses and companies So it's going to be a marketplace for both buyers and sellers. So you'll start seeing this branding coming out. This is not the official brand or like the official logo, but you'll start seeing that new branding come out for Offset. And so just kind of keep an eye out for that. Um, through Q1 and Q2, we'll be also working on onboarding and making sure that our users have good experiences with our Offset marketplace. Yeah, and I think that's it. And so now we'll turn over the time to Amy, and she'll talk a little bit about our carbon more. So,
Hi, everyone. So yeah, like Scott was mentioning, there are opportunities for individuals to be a part of this project as well, not just your larger companies, which, by the way, there are maybe 7,500 small businesses that have signed up to go net zero or are transitioning right now to that. So that's our market with them. But as far as the individuals go, they're able to offset their annual footprints. They can offset their families and travels. In questionnaires, you're looking at what kind of car you drive. Is it a medium car? Is it an SUV? What kind of diet do you have? What size home do you have? And what kind of electricity do you use? Some of our grids are based off of renewable energy, solar or water, and they can offset that as well. So the great thing about the carbon market right now is how much it is just exploding. And we're noticing this is because of the amount of stock markets that are popping up. So in October of 22, the London Stock Exchange launched. In September of 23, we had the Indonesian Stock Exchange launch. And then in October of 23, Japan's stock market launched. And some of these are internal, and they're trying to help their people and their businesses offset, just country by country. But we're seeing a lot of growth globally. So there's going to be trading from country to country, not just internally. And then the other thing that you can note here in the United States that says that this is just about to take off is the corporate commitments. And actually the SEC is moving to require all public companies to report direct emissions and energy use from those emissions. And this is on top of having to already report their climate risks. Now, again, these are public companies. And if you want to think about what that means, is that these companies are already reporting risk from fire and flooding that actuaries from insurance companies are already evaluating. Now we're starting to look at the footprints of these companies for scope 1 and 2 emissions. And that means, emissions from direct business sources, things that are controlled by the company, and then also, their particular energy use. They can offset that. Global summits. Now, there are, comments in both directions when it comes to global summits. But I think the thing that we can take away is that no matter how many outcomes, if whether there's 2 or more, the resolution is the same amongst the people when it comes to carbon credits. And that what people do understand is that these projects can bring co-benefits, especially to developing countries that are super important, like creating jobs, providing clean air, food security, empowerment, and even health and wellness. So looking at a study from World Bank in Indonesia, I thought this was pretty interesting. They looked at ecosystem services that are boosted by repairing or agroforestry for their mangroves or whatnot. They looked at coastal protection, climate regulation, fishery support. So that's, whether it's fishing as an industry or just being able to, feed your family. Raw materials provision, and that would be using mangroves as a wood source, just sustainably using that in a harvest fashion, and also cultural services. So when they looked at Indonesia as a whole, and Indonesia right now has a restoration of about 600,000 hectares that they're trying to get through. That's about 15,000 American dollars per hectare of these cultural services on average. Now, Bali, that's 48,000 per hectare, but on average 15. So what does that mean? That's $9 trillion that goes back into the economy so that the citizens are not paying those taxes. Your businesses aren't paying those taxes. And that obviously helps the communities prosper, and also, you know, right down to the family unit and individuals, they prosper as well from these projects. So carbon has a lot of opportunities that global companies are looking to, you know, obviously offset what they do, but they really want to give back to these communities as well and provide them with opportunities. So let's move on to the next slide. All right, so I'm pretty excited about the EMC, and we talk about it frequently, infrequently. It really depends on the webinar, but we are actually in the final stages of development on this. And when I say final, I mean we have 4 sections that we are really just narrowing down right now. So we are actually working with private industry professionals, state officials, and university SMEs to write and refine this. And it's going to be headed into public commentary as early as Q1 of next year. And what does that mean? That means that we are probably going to put it out for people to come in, read it, offer an opinion, and then throughout the year, we will continue to refine it before, as you saw on that slide, it said a Q4 launch. That's a likely time frame for us, and then that gives us a lot of leverage and opportunities to work with that with additional revenue sources for the business. So just as a peek into it, it's based off of 6 principles, and you've got let me see, I've got it, ethical conduct. So we're prioritizing social responsibility. And that means that we're looking to support not just the miners, but the communities too. And then we're trying to modernize approaches with this using prescient tech like AI. And that's going to be even in the mine or when it comes to governance of the company. When it comes to sustainable impact, it goes without saying that we designed the EMC so that it's going to be in progress mining as well, not just after a mine closes, but while a mine is open, so that we can minimize the environmental impact. We can help them find use of renewable energy on site. So maybe they have a solar power grid that they set up if they're not already attached to one. And then that also includes like the type of vehicles or the machinery that they use. They are coming up with so much technology, even from Caterpillar with electric vehicles that are it's just amazing what is coming out for the mining realm just in general. And so we're looking to ensure a long-term ecological equilibrium from that. And what does that mean? Sustainability is a nexus, and it's a nexus between people, planet, prosperity. And so this has to include things like safety and fair pay for the people as well. When you think about sustainability, you're probably just thinking about the environment, but we care about what's happening internally with the workers as well. Community engagement is really important too. So that means we're focusing on fair compensation, safe working conditions, and then well-being as well, not just internally, like I said, but also for the community, so that there's not a lot of displacement and then, poverty or whatnot that comes with that. Environmental management kind of gets its own little chunk in the EMC, and it's huge because we're talking about land rehabilitation, and there are literally millions of acres globally that are documented that we know about that need rehab. So that section is very hefty and large, and it's taking kind of the bulk of the time. We're also looking at digital transparency. And obviously, this is going to be on the blockchain. So you're familiar, there's going to be checks and balances. Every time we go into a mine, we can see that they have done their due diligence and checked off on all of the things that I just mentioned. And this will enable them, their partners, their buyers to track and verify all these ethical practices, giving us increased value and trust as consumers, knowing that they're doing right by the community and the people that work there. And finally, incentivizing the mine owners. That's the thing that we're going to try and get over with these carbon credits. Rewarding sustainable mining practices is central to our approach. And we get to look at the future impact. How can we help them, either move away from their unsustainable practices, rehabilitate the land, get carbon credits going, and digitize those above ground assets. It's really just an exciting time. I can't wait to launch it. And And by the way, if you are aware of, any projects in the carbon, or if you have any mining friends that want to, engage with us, we left our email down in the corner. And so I'm going to pass the baton.
Thank you, Amy. Hi, everyone. My name is Victor Ponce. I'm the VP of Engineering at Element. First, I want to give credit where credit is due. We have a very large engineering team working very hard to release updates that fix bugs, address security concerns, and improve the platform overall. Every once in a while, there's a release because you find an issue in the Element app. It's important to remember that most of the time, you're completely unaware that we're pushing out updates because everything just works as it should. So we want to thank you for your patience when you do see an issue. Some of the changes that we've pushed out are related to the nodes that you run. I'm sure many of you have received emails asking you to update your nodes from V1 to V2. The goal of Element United is to create utility for the Element token. Part of this utility comes from your nodes doing work that is valuable to the network, in other words, the blockchain. So there have been many backend platform changes to allow our nodes to be more extensible. Things like auto updates, support for Node Engine, and the groundwork, especially for the tokenized carbon credit marketplace. Another major change that I'm sure you're aware of is the update to the wallets, which Scott mentioned before. The new wallet version 2.0, it's also part of a large set of backend changes that improve security and extensibility, which are also involved with everything we're building in the future in 2024. So 2024 is going to be a great year for us. We spent a lot of time in 2023 building the groundwork for everything that's coming. We have several products in the pipeline that the Scott and the team have talked about, with tokenized carbon credits being at the forefront. As we've mentioned, we're launching the individual carbon credit subscriptions very soon. The beginning of this is the survey that we sent out to the community. Those lucky winners will receive the very first tokenized carbon credits that Element creates. And as Matthew asked in the chat, yes, carbon credits are resellable up until the time they are retired. So if you haven't already filled out the survey, I encourage you to do so right now. If you happen to be one of the winners, we'll request your Ethereum wallet address and send you the tokenized carbon credit, which is essentially an NFT with the metadata of the project that produced the carbon credit. And different carbon credits will have different values depending on the carbon credit type and what the market dictates the carbon credit is worth. We have a lot of features planned for the carbon credit marketplace. We'll have carbon pools to mix carbon credits and allow the sale of different types of carbon credits simultaneously. We will implement fractionalized carbon credits because some carbon credits are worth a lot more than others, and we want everyone to have the chance to purchase some of the more expensive ones. So a lot of big things happening in 2024. We have a lot of the groundwork laid out. So thank you for your time. That's all I have for now. One last thing. One of our goals for 2024 is to be more transparent with the product roadmap. So we will be posting more updates, in social media, mostly in Discord, or initially in Discord. So keep an eye out for those. On to you, Ali.
Thanks, Victor. I'm Ali. Several of you have worked with me either through support or I've met you in different events. I wanted to go over a few things that as a community member that you should be aware of. A lot of you have seen this blue banner that we have across our nodes page. And really what it's explaining is that rewards table that you guys used to see that broke down where your points were coming from and when has disappeared. We're working on an upgraded version of that. It will come back. I wish I could promise it to you before the end of this year. But to make sure that everyone gets a holiday, it'll probably be during Q1 of next year. But we're working really hard to push that back out. So you will see what your node is doing, its actions, the points it's earned, and the rewards that are caused by that after it calculates. We also, Victor talked a little bit about V1 to V2 upgrades. So the node versions, as you can see here with our latest release of our software, you can see whether you have a V1 node or a version 2 node. If you have a V1 node, you will need to destroy whatever hosting you have for your node and redeploy with the correct bash command. That's available in these links here that you can click on for node setup. The instructions are also available in our FAQ section. Sarah just dropped a link here that you can go straight there without having to go search it. But the support tab here that's also new is a quick way to search and find instructions for what you need. Should you ever need help for any of this or rehosting your nodes, please reach out to someone on our support team and we can set up a quick call and make sure you get help to do that right away. The V1 nodes will eventually be phased out. And so our goal is to get everyone to at least a version 2 node as quickly as we can. That your V1 node will stop earning rewards starting January 30th. So please check your dashboard, see if you have a V1. If you have V2 nodes, you're all set. There's nothing you need to do. You should be able to update from Node Engine. Please reach out to support and Sarah can validate that for you. I saw that question that popped up from Angela. Lastly, well, not lastly, but another thing we want to bring to your attention, lots of questions about the Element token and our comments on the value of that and, you know, listing tokens on new exchanges and things like that. Element United, the company, does not have any sway on what the value of the token is. That's up to the community. And if you have an exchange or an opportunity that you'd like to have the token listed somewhere, please contact Node Governance. I believe Sarah also has the link that she can post here to how you can contact them either through their website or through an email. We did reach out to them and they will be responsive from now on moving forward. I think there's one more slide there, Paul. Yes, lastly, we are upgrading to Wallet 2. So Wallet 2 will give us more capabilities for giving you guys better features in the future. If you see My Element Wallet 2.0, there's nothing more that needs to be done on your account. People that need to upgrade will see a banner across the top with a button that says upgrade my node. But as long as you see Wallet 2.0, you're all set and good to go. I think I've covered basically everything. So I'm going to pass it back to you, Scott.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that, Ali. The reason why I wanted all the department heads to get on and say something is just so that you can all see the big brains they have. I didn't understand half the things they said. So if you didn't, don't worry about it. But just rest assured, we have some big brains working here at Element United, not only to bring good products, but to make sure that we are moving forward and doing everything we can to solve some of these problems. And my job is basically to remind everybody of our vision, mission, and purpose, that blockchain is going to change the world, and we're going to do some real good with a lot of people. And we can't do it without you guys who have voluntarily entered into the Element blockchain. It's going to be an amazing 2024. Buckle up. Just in a lot of different ways. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. So a lot of exciting things are happening out all over the world. We had a team last week out in Dubai. I'll be in Panama. We're going to be back in Ghana, Tanzania, Kenya, probably back for the token 2020. I don't even know the name of it, back in Indonesia. A lot of fun stuff happening. And with that comes a lot of node sales. And as the node sales happen, the price of the node goes up. So we're going to go ahead and announce here the new price of the node starting on Monday is $4,000 based on previous node sales. Do not expect that to stay at 4,000 for very long. A lot of things are happening. There's a lot of momentum with this company and people are jumping on board all over the world. So starting on Sunday will be your last chance to buy it at 34. These things can't be undone. So on Monday, it's 4,000 and expect more shortly. Expect this to go up because a lot of fun things are happening. And so that's the new node price. So if you want to save $600 and get a node before Monday, go ahead and do that as soon as you possibly can, and look for additional increases happening fast. Because there's a lot of fun stuff happening in this world, and these are good things, right? I mean, I hear from the community a lot. Some people say, "Hey, get that node price up so that less people can come in and my distribution can stay high." Others say, "Oh man, I wanted to get more nodes, but your price is going up." This is just what happens in the node community and in the Element United as a company. These nodes, they go up, and they're going to go up. Prepare for it. I can't give you specific numbers, right? Because it's all based on how, but prepare for it. The 4,000 will be as cheap as it gets for a very, very short window. So that's happening. And if you know anybody that wants a node and wants to get it get it for $3,400, have them act now. Okay. All right. So that's that. I got the hard part out of the way, but some of you are cheering, saying, yes, make it harder for more people to buy nodes. Sure. If that's how you feel, great. I'm also a node owner, right? So I feel that way as well. But we've got a lot of people in this community. We've got a very broad network blockchain, and it's exciting. It's exciting to see all these fun things happen. So buckle up for 2024. Okay, and I'm not sure what slides are next here, Paul, but it's back to Paul. So you brought me back on to do the hard part. Oh, by the way, one other thing too. People ask about David. David obviously was involved with us for a long time, still a member of the community, still a node owner. Still, he stepped away to go help a family member run a business. He's doing great. David's still welcome in here anytime. We talk all the time. We're still great friends. He's still involved in different ways with the Element community, and so we wish David all the luck. I'm gonna, anyway. So you might see him pop up here from time to time, but we wish him all the luck in the world, and he's doing he's a big health guy. I don't know if you guys knew that. If any of you guys ever follow David, follow his Instagram, everything is on health and wellness, and so what he's doing is something really cool right now with stem cells and things like that. And anyway, but all right, who's it going back to now? Paul. Okay, Paul, take it away.
All right. Okay, so we have our winners. I apologize for any names that I pronounce wrong, because I am sure a lot of these I'm going to totally get wrong, but here I go. So we've got our 10 light node winners, our Levin Thu, and then we got Jen Wagner, Christian Lovas, and then there's Hung. I don't see the last name, but Carl Jean Baptisti. I'm sorry. I'm just saying.
We got
and I'm doing better at
worldwide node owners.
I know.
You guys
I
get
know.
excited here, Paul. Like, where's your best Bob Barker? Come on down. You guys win.
There's Chani Takama. I just feel bad because I know I'm pronouncing some of these so wrong. But Mitch Deroxy. Then Joachim Norberg, Elteridge Dufonchard. Oh, wait, no, let's see. Yeah, no, that's right. And then our swag people are Rebecca Leathers, Diane Miller Wilson. We've got Michael Enis, Tone Lev. Oh gosh, I'm doing these so bad.
Tone Levis.
Tone Levis. And Connor Steelies. Okay,
Styles, maybe. Yeah, all right. He grew up in a small town, folks. He's not used to anything other than Smith. And so Joachim Nober. Okay, great.
Yeah,
all
those
right.
are our swag winners or ELMT. And then we've got our carbon credit winners, which are David Garachki, Anthony Pinkston, and then Evans Lewis. And then we've got our Element Smart Node winner, which is Andrea Pinkston. So congratulations to all of you. I will
$3,400.
I know. Well, now it's 4,000 actually.
$4,000
basically,
Congrats.
right?
Nice job.
So I will be reaching out to all of you. I've got all your emails that you submitted, and I'll be coordinating with you on how to get these rewards to you. So yeah, I'm going to turn the time back over, Scott, but before I do that, I just want to mention that We have been seeing a lot of positive feedback with the Z League giveaways. I don't know if you've all seen those. But what it is basically is it's kind of like Gleam, the software we're using right now, but it allows users to earn points for taking certain actions. And so if we want to thank the community for doing that. We've heard that there is another one coming up soon, and so we encourage everyone to participate. And yeah, I think now, yeah, I'll just turn the time back over to you, Scott.
Thanks, Paul. Here, let me get my volume figured here. Okay. Well, appreciate you guys. Okay. Appreciate everybody jumping on here and being a part of what we're doing. We joke and we try to have fun, but what we're doing is serious, and we're doing our best to solve some problems that are out there and to get our message out there that these problems need to be solved. Right? We're trying to let people know about the massive problems, that we are all part of those problems, and now you can be rewarded to be a part of the solution. As we get more and more people joining this movement, we're going to do something really special. And it started with you guys, who are those who took a chance on us to jump in early. And now it's time to spread the message, because these are problems that need fixing, and we can all benefit from it. We can all be rewarded for being a part of the solution. And so a heartfelt thank you to all of you and thank you for your patience, guys. We're basically a startup. This is uncharted territory, and that's where we love. That's where we thrive. That's where we're happy to be, and we're happy that you guys have chosen to join the Element blockchain and to do your part. Your part is the critical part. What you're doing and the decisions that you can make for this community, and the change that you can make by having those nodes and utilizing those rewards is critical. And so we want to thank you for being patient with us, for giving us your support. And if you have any questions, obviously you guys feel free to reach out. I've committed to be a lot more engaged and answering personal questions. And I've been emailed by some of you. I apologize if I didn't get back to some of you, but thank you for jumping on this, and stay tuned. We're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff this year. Giveaways, gold giveaways, nodes, a lot of really, really fun community engaging things. So stay tuned and what's that?
We'll repost the recording.
And yeah, that's right. We're gonna post this. This is recorded, so we'll go ahead and repost it. Like I said, we're mostly an international community, and half of our node owners are probably asleep right now. So we'll get this sent out to everybody. Again, heartfelt thank you for all of you, and stay tuned. It's going to be an amazing year.